best thing to do is just, I think, for me, is just sit in the moment and allow myself to grieve.
It's like he's finally here. He's finally at rest. It's finished. This part of the journey is finished.
This episode was really sad, and I think it was quite symbolic as well, because you got to see all the children, well, the OG 12 out of the OG 13 sort of come together and just be there to support one another. And you got to see the mothers as well continue in their grief. With Kody, I don't think this this past, them sort of going over the episode sort of about the passing of Garrison, I don't think they did him any favors, sadly. I don't think they did him any favors. I think he was already in a bad place with the fans, and I think this just made things worse. But anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. It's your girl Valerie. It's sad that we're still continuing with grieving of Garrison, but I think it's important for the family to sort of express themselves the best way they know how, and how they feel they want to represent their loved one. So you have Janelle and the family, they're meeting up and sort of getting ready to bury Garrison. They go out to the lake because this is something I think the family just want to do, just to relieve, I assume, the grief or the stress and the tension around this very sad moment. Janelle reveals that she gave Kody, Mary, and Robin the plans of what was going to take place. And personally, I feel like Mary didn't go for that activity because she's trying her best to sort of not inconvenience people. Because we have people like Christine who said that they would be happy if they had no contact with Mary forever, because there's nothing there between the two of them. You have some of Christine's children that have expressed that they don't want anything to do with her. So I get why she would feel uncomfortable. We have Leon and Audrey there, but Mary, we don't see her at the lake when everybody meets up. But I assume she would go for the burial. I don't know, maybe that's later on in the episode. Janelle breaking down during a conversation with Christine was very moving, because I get where she's coming from. And I think if anyone has lost a loved one, you can understand that grief is a roller coaster. 1 minute you're laughing, you're screaming, you're shouting. The next minute you're crying, you're banging yourself on the floor and stuff. So it's easy. It's easy for someone who's been through it to relate. But if you haven't been through it, you can't understand why is this person laughing and then crying and then laughing again, because that's grief. You have to ride the wave as it comes, and hopefully that will ease the pain and make it better for you to cope. We have Kody and Robin, they get to Wyoming, and Kody stops at the outskirts of his father's ranch to sort of talk about, the ranch and show his kids. And personally, I found that a bit in poor taste, in the sense that he keeps referring to these children as his kids, my kids, my kids. And it's like, what about the others? What about the others? What about the other OG 13? Are they not your children? For you to say you want to share your memories with your children, what does it say about the OG 13? Whose children are they? I don't get it, because yes, you're going to pay pilgrimage to Garrison, but this is the moment. You should be trying to bring your children together. This is the moment. As a father, if you wanted to sort of conduct this pilgrimage to go and bury Garrison, you should have had a convoy of cars, one behind the other, trying to show unity, trying to bring your family together. Not you going and riding a horse and having Robin go, wow, he looks amazing, yow. It's like, oh. Anyway, this is not the time. We then get to see Kody go to the graveside, and he is digging the grave with his brother and brother-in-law, because he says, this is to honor his son. This is how he grieves his son. And it's like, I understand grief is a roller coaster, but some of the things that he has done are in poor taste. Going for ice creams with his kids, so sort of showing them the signs that he's sold, going for a horse ride with his wife. I don't think those are things that he should be doing. Yes, if he was involving the rest of the family, but the problem is he is isolating himself with his wife and his selected few children. So this comes across in poor taste. So we get to see the ceremony. Obviously, Mary comes for the ceremony. All the OG3 moms are there. Robin and her husband are also there. And I love that the family was able to say to TLC, yes, if you want to film, but film from a distance. And those that didn't want their faces shown on camera were given that their rights were respected. So we had the service led by Kody's brother in a joking manner. He came in this Hawaiian t-shirt, and apparently there is a meaning behind that, in the sense that it seems Garrison tried to open up, one of those sort of beachy sort of shirt sort of company. And so it was cute to see them honor him that way. Even the joke that he made at the start, it sort of relieved the stress and the grief that was going round. And the service was nice and sweet. I love that everybody was able to sort of stay in their place. Although you could see the side eye from some of the children when Kody started speaking, because at the end of the day, how are you speaking at the ceremony when you haven't reached out to me that is still here, that can still answer you? How are you sort of saying you're mourning your child? We're not saying don't mourn your child, but I am also your child. Why can't you check in on me? Why can't you make sure that I'm doing okay with this grief? I didn't get it. Even when they went to put the casket, because apparently Mitch created this casket, it looks great. For Robin to be taking pictures, I was just side-eyeing her that you never shed a tear for this child. You didn't seem sort of to be grieving at all in the way that the other mothers were grieving. I'm not saying she wasn't grieving, but her grief was totally different. Everybody's grief is different, yes. But for her to then run around and take pictures, it makes me question, was she taking pictures for TLC, or was she taking pictures as a memento to remember Garrison by? I didn't get that. I love how protective Janelle's children are. We remember when we saw pictures of the service, the military service, you had Hunter sitting right next to her, protecting her, sort of making sure she was okay. And so at the graveside, you had Logan standing next to his mom. Even when Kody went to kneel down, I don't know whether he thought his mom wanted to kneel down or whatever, but he kept checking in on his mom first. When he was happy that she was okay, then he turned to his dad and said, "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" And when Kody said no, he stepped back, came back for his mom, made sure his mom was okay. And once the service was finished, you actually heard Janelle say, "My boys have always been very protective of me. They always check in on me. They always make sure that I'm okay. They always give me hugs. They always ask me, 'Are you okay?'" And this is what I love. This is what I love. I love this with Janelle because she needs the support system. She needs her children around her. She needs her grandchildren around her. So having children that are aware, irregardless of their gender, is amazing. After the service, obviously they all returned to the house. We don't get to see Kody, and Gabriel came and everybody was excited to see him because Gabriel is going through a lot. He had issues with his dad and their relationship during the COVID era and post-COVID, and now he is the one who went and found his brother. So everybody understands his grieving, and I think they're trying to be there for him and make sure that he is supported, he is comforted in whatever he's going through. He bought fireworks for his nephews and nieces, and he played with them. And then there was this conversation between Leon and Maddie. Leon and Maddie have always been very close. The girls are very close. McKelty, Leon, Maddie and Aspen, because they grew up around the same time. So they were talking about Robin's children and they were talking about their dad. And I feel these children are very hurt. Every time Kody goes on camera and says, Mary's child, Christine's child, Janelle's child, and then he turns around and says, Robin and my children. That is painful because that shows that he doesn't see himself as their parent. The audacity to try and use the excuse that, their mother took me away from them. No, she didn't. There is social media. These days, there's so many ways you can keep in contact with someone. So the idea that, he's not keeping in touch with his children to the extent that they are having conversations on how to deal with him, it's going to be hard for him to mend bridges. It really is going to be hard for him to mend bridges. And I hope this is an awakening for him, that he needs to connect with his children. I know we saw an episode where he said he went to see Truly and he had a conversation with Aspen, but I think he has to choose. What does he want? Anyway, I digress. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 24. Bye guys.